Hi there, John Bartlett here in my backyard in Surrey, BC, making a video that'll get me maybe 15 hits if I'm lucky. Today I'm going to go through the first few steps of building my Gurgler Pond with a brief explanation of the overall design. My original vision started when I saw a gurgler rock that looked like a sail, which I figured would fit right in with my dock-themed backyard. On top of that, if I built a gurgler pond, I would have so much less work cutting the upper deck flagstones into place. After all, how hard can a gurgler pond be? It certainly cannot compare to the torture of cutting flagstones. So that was the beginning. Not wanting to spend much, I decided to get creative. The stone was on for half price. What a great start. But as the design flourished, the cost just kept rising. How was I to know? I knew I wanted gradient variations and texture changes within the finished design, hence the use of different materials: cloth, steel, stone, glass chips, and moss. I'm achieving gradient variation by making the water level and colored glass higher than the surrounding pavers. The stock pre-molded bases are either rectangular or oval, which didn't appeal to me. I wanted something unique. Come on, not me, really? I decided to use some leftover rubber membrane I used on my large pond and create my own base in the shape of an acoustic guitar body. On a later trip to the landscape shop, I also noticed they sold chipped colored glass. It was also on for 50% off sale. So I had the stone that looked like a sail and colored glass, which if I added lighting under would look great. It needed a mast and a foresail to finish the look. This process of design took a couple of months as I added and discarded some of the ideas. No rush, as I was busy installing flagstones anyways, so I only had to get the base walls in so I could butt the flagstones up to it. Right, the first step you'll have to do is come up with your design. Then dig a ginormous round sinkhole in your neighbor's yard and blame it on giant earthworms. And make sure you get a fuzzy picture like that of Nessie. No, not so much. Not on your agenda? Can't say I didn't try. Okay, seriously. The first things first. Roughly transfer the design to the location in your yard with a cutout of the paper or cardboard. This way you can see if it is oversized, undersized, looks better twisted 30 degrees, etc. Best to sleep on it if you're unsure and it doesn't immediately strike you. Let it float around your head, because it might end up changing all your design plans and even location in your yard. Oh hell, just sell the place and buy one someone has already done a gurgler pond in. It will be a lot less headaches. So go with your gut on this one, and if you're a tad conservative, just ask a creative friend to throw in some ideas. Once you've semi-finished your design and finalized your exact location, you can start. Since I'm using rubber membrane, walls will be needed to support the rubber above grade. I decided to use ABS plastic as it's easy to bend and work with. To support the ABS plastic walls, I drove rebars into the ground. For every 1 inch of rebar that is exposed from the bottom of the hole you dug, you should sink the rebar 2 inches into the ground. Next, dig out your shape to the elevations in your design. For the walls, I've used 1/8 ABS plastic. Just had the plastic shop cut a sheet to 16 inches deep, then contoured it into place and drilled the ABS and zap strapped it to the rebar, top and bottom. Bonding the ABS together, you use plumber's ABS cement overlapping the sheets 2 to 3 inches. I didn't use plywood as it would have disintegrated over a couple of years. Next step is to fill the bottom of the hole with sand. This should cover the bottom couple of inches of the ABS and give you a nice flat bottom to work with. Just leave a 3 or 4 inch depression where you plan on putting the water pump. I trimmed the top of the ABS to look like ocean waves. And yeah, you don't know what you've got until the end of the project to see how it all works. Laying in the rubber bladder, I used contact cement and zap straps above the finished water line to bond the rubber to the ABS In a couple of places where the rubber was unsupported by the sand or wall, all you have to do is pull the rubber away from the ABS and ladle some sand down the sides until the rubber is fully supported, and then recontact cement and zap strap that small opening again. Then just a quick trim following the top of the ABS wave, and that part is complete. To support the gurgler rock, I glued together some high density styrene. You can just as easily use flat stones. Just make sure the stone on the rubber is smooth and no sharp edges. I checked the fitting of my hose head in the hole in the stone before I put it in place. It was a good thing, as it took me 2 hours of drilling out the stone to allow the hose clamp and the shower head to drop down to the correct position. Remember to run continuous water whenever cutting rock. After you're finished with all the machining on the rock, you can use stone enhancer protection if you choose. To see what the difference between the enhancer and not using enhancer will look like is the difference between seeing the rock wet or dry. Positioning the styrene in the pond, I drilled a couple of holes for the water pipe. Then I laid the mesh across, attaching the panels together with zap straps to tie them together. Next, I had to cut holes in the mesh for the mast and the water pipe. Then I loaded the stone sail and it worked. Next video, I'll take you through the mechanical and much of the rest of the build with all these parts that I have lying around here, such as the strip lighting, sprinkler heads, aluminum foil for reflectivity, the pump, some plastic mesh supports, the mast boom, and the satin sail. No, it is not some kind of kinky underwear, though the mall seamstress thought otherwise, as she held it up so everyone in the area could have a laugh. I was just glad decorum reigned and she didn't start spinning the sail over her head. But it goes without saying, if you really insist, I'll make you one. Just send me $140 and how big you want it. Address JB's Kinky Underwear Haberdashery Satin Knickers. Now, time for some shameless advertising. Are you or a friend or a family member afflicted with plantar fasciitis or carpal tunnel? You don't have to live in pain. It is very easy to solve. Just watch my other YouTube video about that. Thanks for watching and have yourself a great day.